I'm coming to you from Bend and Lomita United Methodist Churches. We have been trying to encourage Bible knowledge and have been doing a series, especially on Moses. We've interrupted that series to talk about Christmas because it's the season we're in. We've come to this video will be released on January the 6th, which is the day of Epiphany. Christmas is not just a day, it's a season. And it lasts, the 12 days of Christmas is actually about the time after Christmas. Gifts that you're supposed to receive are after the birth. You don't give baby the gifts before the birth, you give them after the birth. And so traditionally what the 12 days of Christmas is about is receiving gifts for 12 days after December the 25th. And so the day that ends is on January the 6th, which is Epiphany. January the 6th is the day that the wise men are traditionally showed up at the manger. Matthew has the wise men in his story. Luke has the shepherds, but never the twain shall meet. Matthew has no shepherds in his story. So if you do the Christmas pageant, you're mixing up Luke and Matthew to put them in the same story, but you need enough roles for the kids to play anyway. But the wise men came from afar. They were probably Zoroastrian priests that were consultants to the royalty. People in power like to consult the divine wisdom to see if what they should do, if they should tax, if they should make war, if they should make treaties. So they would consult these soothsayers. They were people who studied the stars and decided what the future will bring. They were more like the astrologers of today, but these were in the royal courts, and they were watching the stars, and they saw the one great star that was over Bethlehem, and decided that it must be the sign of the birth of a king. That was always a great sign in the heavens that would describe the birth of a great leader. And so they went to see what it was like. Now, they didn't make it in 12 days. They had to go across the desert. They had to organize a caravan. They had to get together. They had to travel and find out where they were going. So it actually took longer than that. But we want to wrap up Christmas by January the 6th anyway. So they show up, and Herod wants to know what they're looking for, and they tell him, and he says, well, when you find the baby, let me know, because I want to go and worship him. And that was not the truth. Herod wanted to do in the one who might challenge his authority, his kingship. And so the wise men went to Bethlehem to present their gifts. They found Mary and Joseph and the baby Jesus, and they presented gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Those always have symbolic meanings. Gold is the material of royalty. Myrrh is in incense or something to mask smells. Incense covered up the smell, and it also provides kind of luxury, but myrrh was something they usually often put on dead bodies. So it was kind of mirroring, kind of foreshadowing the death of Jesus some 33 years later. But then the wise men left by another way, and they had to actually literally do that. I've been to the palace of Herod in Jerusalem, and you can look and you can see Bethlehem from there. It's not about 6 miles away. And so, and the palace is up on top of a hill, a mountain almost. And so they had to leave by the back door of Bethlehem so that the king wouldn't see him going out. And then the jig would be up. He's going to try to do another way of getting rid of Jesus after that. But that's what the wise men were doing. They were symbolically, it was the world coming to Jesus. These were not Jewish people. They would not be Christians later on. These were people of another faith that saw what was happening. And so the world was coming to the manger. The Savior had a much larger perspective, a much larger mission than just the Jewish people. His purpose was to change the whole world. And the birth of Jesus did that and is doing that and will do that in the future. So that's a story of the wise men. It doesn't say there's three of them. They just gave three gifts. And refers to them often as magi, wise people, sages. It doesn't even say that they're men, although they were likely were men in the royal court. When this January the 6th comes, give people a gift, because that's the first Christmas gifts that were given to Jesus, and give Jesus a gift too. All right, we'll get back to our regular Moses story, epilogue and travel log as we begin next week. See you then.